Welcome in for the 15U Showcase Championship between the Worcester Cowboys and the Tenfold Storm. Tim Duffy back here for the third consecutive game here on Fans Only Sports Network. This is going to be a good one here in the 15U Showcase Championship. Two good teams coming up here at Brown University, Providence, Rhode Island. And we're doing the coin toss right now. Seems to be a situation down the field where Tenfold says we don't have our players here. The game is at 2:30, and our schedule said it was at 2. I don't know who did Tenfold like this, but or if that's even true. But they do have a good chunk of the team here. They're in the black jerseys right below us. As you can see, their roster right here. They are a little bit short-staffed. They say we don't have all our players yet, and they were late coming on the field too. They came out at around like 1:40 for the 2 p.m. game. So I guess that's some extra clarification as to why they did that. They're just doing the coin toss right now, and I just want to let you guys know that is the update here. A little bit peculiar. Don't see this all too often, but this game's going to have a little bit of a delay. I'll put some commercial break. I'll keep it right here, but muted. What I can hear on the field from our vantage point. Let you guys know what's going on. But Worcester and Tenfold having a slight delay in the opening kickoff. But we will be right back here on Fans Only Sports. this game definitely going to start a little bit late. See the Worcester Cowboys warming up. Tenfold players still arriving here. Tenfold players are now huddling up. Yeah, so this game actually it's going to be starting. Okay, that's what it looks like at least. So I was a little bit worried it was going to be a longer delay, but see how it all goes. Is Worcester already back on the bench? So, yeah, welcome in back to Providence, Rhode Island. 12 minutes put on the clock. Cowboys in the white, Storm in the black. And Tenfold is going, they're still warming up, actually, so, sorry about that, guys. It looked like we were about to start for a sec, but I guess not. So Tenfold getting those final warm-ups in. Yeah, we're just going to go to a commercial break here, okay? Before the start of this game, all right? right, alas, it looks like the game is starting this time around. I know last time I said it was, and I was just wrong. So, I got the kickoff return team out for the Cowboys. Tenfold getting their kickoff team, excuse me, out as well. Cowboys have been ready. They've been here. They were on time. They were here before anybody from Tenfold even showed up. A couple of Storm players arriving in. Like we said, there was a confusion in when the game was starting. And now finally, alas, the Storm kickoff team is out on the field. And they will kick off first. So Worcester will receive first. Once again, I am Tim Duffy, and you can see all the action on our website, fansonlysports.com, and our Instagram at FO Sports, also with a Z. The end of that, so we're going to kick off first. It is James Toland who's kicking off for the Storm, and it's a squib kick. Will be taken by Tyler Oldford, and Oldford will bulldoze his way down to about the 47-yard line. That is where Worcester will begin their first drive. The 47-yard line of Tenfold, by the way. So that is where Worcester will begin here in the 15U Showcase Championship game. Quarterback for Worcester is Jackson Finnemore, it looks like. And yeah, first flag today. It's going to be on the hard count, and they got him to jump. First penalty of the game goes against Tenfold. For the offside. First down and 5. Finnemore throws. This one bad up in the air and incomplete. Oh, almost had it. Was Xavier Wigham. He almost had a house call right there on his own pass deflection. Falls incomplete though. Makes it 2nd and 5. Pistol here on 2nd down. Man in motion, it's Reyes. Handoff right up the gut. Going to get a first down here. Zachary Deschaines moves the chains down to the 35. Good for 7 in the first down. First down of the game belongs to Worcester. To Shanes, right up the gut. And they're going to draw him offside again. Wow. Arguably could have been against Worcester, but that is going to be offside against the Storm, it looks like. And I mean, that's why you're going to come to games early. Jokes, of course. They just weren't ready. That's 2 jumps defensively. 2 neutral zone infractions against Tenfold. Here on the first drive, we're not even 2 minutes into the game yet. Fenimore here with Deshanes next to him. He's going to give it to him here on first down, and Deshanes lowers the shoulder. No gain on the play, but a flag is down. He's brought down by Wes Peterson there. But let's see what the flag is first. Holding. I think they said number 11, which would be Dylan McGonigal. I don't see 11 though on the field, but it's a hold against Cowboys. So that's the 3rd penalty already in this game. So 1st and 5 becomes 1st and 15 now. First and 15. Fenimore gonna go deep. Got a man out there and completes. He was looking for Deshanes on the jump ball, and there is another flag down. And they said unsportsmanlike conduct on Tenfold. All right. Now it's 1st and 10. Fresh set of downs for this offense. All right. So 3rd penalty against Tenfold on this drive. Handoff, and it's Deshanes. And he will get maybe a couple there. Makes it 2nd down and 8. As this opening quarter clock dripping down to 8 minutes 23 seconds. Jackson Fenimore, the head coach of this team from Auburn, Massachusetts. 15-year-old takes the snap. Pump fake, gonna throw this one, a dart to the end zone out of reach for Jason Aben. And now it's 3rd down for the first time today for Worcester. Third down and 8. First 3rd down today for the Cowboys. Fenimore sends his man in motion. It is Deshanes. Fenimore has some time. Going to throw to the end zone. Jump ball pushed off. And they're going to call a flag here. It's a touchdown in the meantime, but that will most certainly be offensive pass interference against Deshanes. Who was split out wide that time. And yeah, offensive pass interference. Bring it back. Will not count. And the extension there was pretty clear, honestly. So 3rd and 8. Now becomes 3rd and 18. Fifth penalty called on this opening drive. 2 against Worcester, 3, and that's another penalty. And I'm not sure if the Storm player jumped across the line. Reyes jumped off sides for a false start, and that is what they're going to call it, false start, because the Storm defensive player did not cross the line. So now 3 penalties against each team, Tenfold, 3 penalties for 25 yards. And for the Cowboys, 3 penalties for 30 yards. Just a tough start. And now Finnemore's dropped. And the ball came out. Sacked there on the play by Wellison Dos Santos. Get the first sack for Tenfold today. And after a very promising start to that drive, it's going to end in misery. They had a 3rd and 8 touchdown. They got called back. A couple penalties and a sack. Brings us to 4th down and 27. So, needless to say, this is going to be a punt situation, you'd imagine. Unless it's not. I mean, Finnemore's still out there for 4th and 27. So, unless he's their kicker too, I'm not quite sure. Finnemore will punt, a little pooch kick, and it's a good punt. It's still rolling, but it goes in the end zone. Ooh, be a touchback. And Finnemore almost was able to pin him back deep, but they couldn't race up to it. All right, so fresh set of downs here for Tenfold. Their first drive today. Hudson Garrity, the quarterback, and they will give it on a handoff. First play of the game, and hurdling a man. Another flag is down. A couple of flags down. It's a good gain for Ethan O'Connell. Let's see what the flags are. And it's going to be holding against Tenfold. Didn't see what the flag was at first, but brings it from the 20 to the 10-yard line. And actually not first and 20. It was 10 yards from the penalty, so it's going to be 1st and 18. 4th penalty against Tenfold here today. Garrity has his man in motion. Handoff on the end around. It's Christian Simmons, and Simmons is pushed forward back to the original line of scrimmage for a gain of 8. Makes it 2nd and 10. So first play that goes in the books here. That was not Simmons, rather. That is Fabian Zuzalutz. I don't know. I think I said his name wrong, but No, it was Simmons. My apologies. Number 5. Number 5 gets 8 yards. O'Connell the back. Garrity takes it on second down. Gonna go deep down the field. 1-on-1 and a little bit out of reach that time. And incomplete. He was looking for Finnegan Reardon on that play, and now it's third down. That was Xavion Wigham, excuse me. There's 2 number 19s on that team, on this team. That time it was Wigham who had the pass breakup defensively earlier. That's his first target, but could not make a play there. Third down and 10. Gotta get to the 30 here. Simmons, the motion man. High snap for Garrett. He comes down with it. Here's the screen to Wigham. And Wigham is brought down. Loss of 3. Didn't have a chance. And a great tackle made that time on third down by Jason Aubin. Now it's 4th and 12 with 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. So they're going to punt. Tenfold on 4th and 12 from their own 27. Here's the low snap. 17 rather. The punt was short. Oh, it touched a man! And then coming out of nowhere was Finnemore to make the play. Alston almost gave it right back to Tenfold as it went right through his mitts, but he's able to get bailed out by his QB1. Wow. That was close. It's the two teams exchanging punts here in the first quarter. So, second drive for the Cowboys. Here's the handoff to Jermaine Monteith, right up the middle, and Monteith able to get 2 on the play. Second ball carrier, different ball carrier here for the Cowboys. Second down and 8. Handoff right up the gut for Chase Reyes, the tight end, and Reyes gets the first down. Gain of 9. Give it to the big body right there, and he moves the chains. It's all the way to the 32-yard line. Got downhill that time. And it's Reyes in at quarterback here. He's going to give it right side to Deschenes, and he is able to pick up a pretty good gain there for about 4. Good first down run. And the ground game going very well on this drive for Worcester. Here in a scoreless contest so far. That's going to be offside. It's Wiggum. Jump the gun there. It's going to be the third offside against Tenfold here in the first quarter. That's the fifth penalty against the Storm in the first quarter. I mean, the discipline. There's been none of it so far for Tenfold. Split backfield here. It's Chase Reyes playing quarterback again. High snap, give it out. Deschenes left side, and Deschenes is down to the 11-yard line for another first down. That's a huge run of about 16 yards right there for Deschenes. We have to see a 100-yard rusher in either of the first two games. After that, Deschenes now with 29 rushing yards in the first quarter. So this ball at the 12-yard line. Last play of the first. There's 42 seconds left, so not likely that it's the last play. You'll have to snap it after this play, and this is going to be a timeout called by Tenfold. First timeout called by either team today. Tenfold, the first team to take one. With 38 seconds to go here in the first quarter. It's been a long, successful drive by the Cowboys. Not even a lot of plays, but they've possessed it for just about 5 minutes now on this drive. Mixing it up with Chase Reyes playing some quarterback. Finnemore got the start here, and the only quarterback listed on the roster is Parker Kaufman, who is not playing in this game at quarterback. Finnemore and Reyes doing a good job holding it down, though, and Coach Richmond Apaya pulling up the bag of tricks right here. Reyes in the gun with Montique and Deschenes next to him. Going to give it to Deschenes, right side. He gets a good gain down to about the 7-yard line for 5 on the play. Second down and 5 now. And that will all but likely, more than likely bring us to the end of the first quarter. Let's see if they want to get one more play. They can. They don't have to, but they might want to with how fluid it's moving right now, especially. They'll have to switch sides in a sec. 5 seconds left. Reyes will snap it. Handoff. The outside to Deschenes. Got nothing. Brought down. It's Dos Santos again who makes a great play, and that is the way the first quarter ends. 0-0, the Cowboys and the Storm not up at nil apiece, but when we come back, third down and 5 from the Tenfold 7-yard line. Cowboys knocking on the door. We'll flip sides and see if Worcester can punch it in first. We'll be right back here on Fans Only Sports Network. What's going on, my man? How are you, bro? Don't worry about it, you're good. Good, you out of here? Alright, man, hey, let's see, bro. Good dog. back here for the second quarter. It's 3rd down and 5. It's basically 3rd and goal, but for technical reasons, we're not going to call it that because the 2-yard line is the line to get to. Finnemore back in at quarterback in the pistol now. So maybe they want to throw it to Reyes here, the big tight end. They'll run it instead, and they cannot get anything with Montique. They get a yard, but now it's still 4th and 5. And now the Cowboys 0 for 2 on 3rd down, and looks like they'll line it up for their first 4th down attempt here today. Ten seconds to snap. They got to get after it. And Finnemore, I think they might call a timeout here. Especially before a big play like that. They still have all 3 of their timeouts. And Finnemore takes the snap. No timeout was called. Rolls out left. Under pressure. Gets out of it. Sets his feet. Fires end zone. Intercepted. Picked off in the end zone. First takeaway today. And the interception. Don't have number 18 on our roster here, but that's a pick for Tenfold. We'll get it back at the 20-yard line. There's a man down as well. That's why everyone's on a knee. Trying to see who it is. So 1st down and 10 from the 20. Hand off, nothing that time for O'Connell. He lost a yard, actually. Second down, 11 now. Bunch everyone up inside, all 11 guys. Seems to be an obvious run play here, and I don't know what that was, but they're able to spin out of it and get a positive yard gain, still on his feet too. And he just grinds his way for 7 yards there. Good hustle. Big number 22, whose name we actually don't have on our roster. And some of these rosters, like I said in the previous games, a little bit inconsistent. We're missing some guys. These are the rosters provided by the NEYT, actually. So, don't have everyone's name, but doing our best. We have most. We have pretty much all of them, except for a few players. But that big run by big number 22 now makes it 3rd and 3 for Tenfold. Garrity under center, man in motion. It's Simmons. Garrity, 3-step drop under pressure. He is sacked. Brought down in the backfield that time by the combination of Reyes and Vasquez. And now it's 4th down on a 3rd and short. They lose about 5. It's a loss of 5. Now it's 4th and 8. And Garrity looks like they're going to go for it. I mean, last time we saw this, they ended up pooch punting it with Garrity. From their own 22. They're going to go for it. Garrity has some time but rolls out anyways. Fires, it's caught. And they get a first down. Wiggum moves the chains. The gutsy call. They needed 8. They get 14 and a first down. How about that? From their own 22. And it's Wiggum who had the only other reception on this Storm team, making the other big-time play. He was all alone on that right side, on the little out route there. Nothing even too complicated. Here's the handoff now to O'Connell on first down. O'Connell trying to get outside and will grind his way for a gain of about 6 on the play down to the 42-yard line. Makes it 2nd and 4. Three carries, 5 yards for O'Connell. That was his first carry of positive yardage here. Second and down and 4. Hey. Garrity hands it off. O'Connell on the inside give again. That time he's able to get a first down. Brought down from behind by Babelglue, and it's another 6-yard carry for O'Connell, who's been the workhorse here early on in this game for the Storm. Under 6 minutes to go now here in the first half. Still scoreless. Tenfold trying to work their way across midfield for the first time today. Garrity on first down. Gonna throw. Steps up. Garrity gets to the outside and gets close to a first down. He's brought down at the 44-yard line. Took a shot, too, in the quarterback, putting his body on the line for that 8-yard gain. First carry for Garrity as well today. Go back to that 4th down and 8 play. I mean, they looked dead to right on that drive just a moment ago. And now they're about to snap their first play in Worcester territory. 2nd down and 2. Three receivers at the bottom of the screen. Garrity looking. He's got a man wide open. It's caught! Saying a peace sign. That's going to be a taunting, but it's going to be a touchdown for Christian Simmons. Unbelievable. So, yeah, they're going to call taunting for sure on that play, but Simmons was all alone, and he puts Tenfold on the board first. Unbelievable. Threw up the peace sign. I thought he was Tyreek Hill for a sec right there. But that is a touchdown for the Storm. An emphatic way to kick off the scoring here today. What a drive from Tenfold. It is a 44-yard touchdown reception. So the taunting will push this point after attempt back to, what is that, the 18-yard line? First catch for Simmons today. on his second touch, and he made it look electric right there. So the 2-point try, this is all the way back at, actually no, it is at the 3-yard line. So that penalty is going to be enforced on the kickoff, that taunting, I'd imagine. Ooh, sorry about the clock. It was 4 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the first half, not a minute 13, so man in motion here. Garrity going to give it on the end around. O'Connell cuts inside. O'Connell, he is just short. Oh, he just had to extend the ball, and he didn't. And it'll stay a 6-0 game as a result. Thought he had some space, but did not get across. With 4:19 to go, Worcester will get the ball back here. Down a touchdown. So yeah, it's going to be a deeper kickoff now with the taunting penalty. You see the players are lined up at the 30-yard line now as opposed to the 40. Let's see. The kickoff will still be from the 40, actually. So what do I know? I don't know. But I know the Storm are up 6-0. It was Simmons with the touchdown of 44 yards. Kickoff now here from the 40. And what a 15U game it's been here in the championship. Kickoff coming up from James Toland. And here is the return that gets dropped, picked back up. It's Richard Dacco around the outside, and he's able to get to the 34-yard line on the return. 4 minutes left here in the first half. I'm just going to fix the scoreboard here to reflect that. Pistol formation here for Fenimore. We'll hand it off right up the middle that time, and a good run by Deschenes out to the 43-yard line. Gain of 8 on the play. That is his second longest run today. Already his 7th carry in this game, and it's going to be 2nd and 2. Worcester looking to tie or take the lead before the break. Handoff It's the Shanes again. He gets the first. Not a huge game, but gets the 4 yards or the 2 yards that they needed to move the chains. First down. First and 10 from the 45. Handoff on the draw, and Deshanes gets nothing. A big tackle for loss by Aiden Ayub. Celebrates as he should because it's a loss of 3 on the play. Big time TFL right there. Cowboys, they've dominated the possession time in this game. I mean, they've had more first downs too. Nothing on the board. Ran more plays by a lot, actually. It's second down and 12. Here's the screen. It's caught. First completion for Finnemore, and getting out of bounds with a first down that time is Jason Aban to move the chains. First down. And they actually call for a hold. No, it's not going to count. Holding against the Cowboys. So no catch for Aban. It's basically going to be just a replay of the down. I guess the hold was down the field. They put the ball right back to the 43-yard line. That is where the Cowboys are again. So you heard Coach Richmond Apaya. I mean, you probably didn't hear on the screen, but heard him say, "Stop bailing them out." You know, big time catch and run for Avon, and not going to count. Just bad penalties here from both sides. It's the 4th penalty against the Cowboys. Tenfold has 6 called against them as this picks up 3, and it's going to be 3rd and 9. And you think either team might call a timeout. Neither of them are right now. Shane's only got about 3 on that second down carry. So 3rd and 9 now. Minute 20 to go. Cowboys 0 for 2 on 3rd down. Including one down the goal line. Last possession. Finnemore rolls out left. Fires across his body. Jump ball for a ball. Intercepted again. Picked off. Second pick for Finnemore. And that time, it's James Toland with the interception for the Storm. 2 takeaways. Two takeaways on back-to-back drives for Tenfold. Wow. Just beating them with their defense right now. Timeout going to be called before the drive here by Tenfold. That's the first timeout they've called, or second timeout they've called. Sorry, rather the Cowboys took a timeout. My apologies. And that is their first timeout. Tenfold did use one earlier. Cowboys take one there. So we'll take a timeout too. 52 seconds left here in the first half. Tenfold with a 6-0 lead over the Cowboys with the ball. Both teams coming back on the field here. Final minute of this game, and we're pretty much caught up back to speed despite the delay that we had starting the game, about a 15-minute delay. Almost, probably closer to 20 minutes with the Tenfold Storm team a little bit late to the game. Some of the players, that is. Simmons in motion, who had the touchdown last possession. Handoff to O'Connell up the middle. And O'Connell is going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think he lost a yard there. And, yeah, 2nd and 11 now. 35 seconds left here in the first half. Probably the last play of the first half. Storm, they don't want to do anything crazy with the lead. No need to force anything, especially back at their own end. And they're going to throw it here. And Garrity is sacked. And I don't know what they were thinking there, but got lucky on that play to not make a huge mistake. And that will officially end the first half, as Wiley Babigla was the one with the sack. Second sack for the Cowboys here today, and that ends the first half. 6-0. Storm on top at the break. And the defensive slugfest will resume very shortly here on Fans Only Sports Network. And receiving the second half kickoff will be the Storm with the lead, trying to extend it. So we'll be right back in just a few. 12 minutes to be put back on the clock here on Fans Only Sports Network. Second half action. We are back here in Providence for the second half of the 15U Showcase Championship game between the Tenfold Storm and the Worcester Cowboys. I'm Tim Duffy, back here live on Fans Only Sports Network with 12 minutes on the clock. Quarter number 3 about to begin, and it is the Storm with the lead who will have the chance to possess the football first in this second half. A couple of interceptions by the Storm in the second quarter, and a great touchdown drive, an amazing touchdown drive where they had their backs against the wall on a 4th and 8 at their own 22-yard line. They convert it, and then a few plays later, a 44-yard touchdown to just take the top off this Worcester Cowboy defense. Offense in this game has been pretty stagnant for the most part, though, but that's why I got to make the plays when they're there, and Tenfold did that. That's why they have the lead right now after it was scoreless for pretty much all of the first half. They scored in the last, it was about 4 minutes and 19 seconds in the first half. That is when the first and only score of the game was. Here's the kickoff by Finnemore, who's also the quarterback. We're underway here in the second half. And the other kicker, this time James Toland on the return, gets down to the 33-yard line with 11:53 remaining here in this third quarter. So 7 seconds to lead it off the clock there, and this ball will be placed at the 33-yard line. So Tenfold, they did a great job of just taking some time off the clock too on that last drive that they scored on, and looking to do it again as Hudson Garrity back at quarterback. With O'Connell next to him. Garrity gives Ethan O'Connell, is going to be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Reyes was the first one there. It's a loss of 1 on the play. I actually say that O'Connell got back to the line of scrimmage, so call it 2nd and 10. Up and down game for him as both these defenses playing out of their mind. Here's the handoff to O'Connell right up the middle, and he's brought down by Babaglu at 35 after a 2-yard pickup that time. Makes it 3rd down again. And on 3rd down today, the Storm 0 for 2. They did convert the 4th down that I mentioned a second ago on one of those missed 3rd downs. Now it's 3rd and 8. And if the lead, if they don't get it here, I mean, what do they do? Well, we'd have to see. But you know, the first 2 games we had both blowouts, both shutouts, 34-0, 32-0. This game has some sizzle to it for sure. 3rd down 8. Looking for their first 3rd down pickup today, and they're not going to get it there. Brought down in the backfield. Babaglu was there first, and then finishing him off was Vasquez. Third sack today for the Cowboys defense. It's a loss of 4. And they're going to punt. Toland punter. It's a low snap. It's on the ground. Got to pick it up. He does, and it is going nowhere. Terrible punt. Out of bounds at the 36. Oh, my goodness. Bad snap, bad football, bad special teams. I mean, that was ugly. Doesn't get much worse than that. And Cowboys will be set up at the 36-yard line. And Tenfold, who has now punted twice. The first one did not look anything like that one. That was just bad all around. The snap, the execution, the kick, and just sets him up terribly. Cowboys, though, they haven't scored anything on offense. This Tenfold defense has been incredible today. Finnemore in at quarterback. Seen Chase Reyes get some snaps in at QB as well. Handed off right up the middle that time, and a good run for Deschenes out to the 27-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play. And what a way to start the drive for Worcester. .53 rushing yards for Deschenes today. Here's the fake to him. The quick set up and throw to Aubin. And Jason Aubin with another first down. Gets to the 15-yard line. So last catch he had got wiped off. This time it'll count for a gain of 13 on the play. And the first down here for the Cowboys. That's the first completion for Finnemore. Handoff to Deschenes right up the middle. Still going. Bulldozing his way to the 7. And now second down and 3 from inside the 10-yard line. And a timeout called by Tenfold. That's their first of the second half. They call a timeout. What a way to light this second half up for the Cowboys right here. Gains of 9, 13, and 7 on their first 3 plays of the drive that started at the Tenfold 36. They have it inside the 10-yard line, looking to punch win. Last time they had it down here, goal line interception on a 4th and 5 from the 7. And they had 3 plays inside the 10-yard line. Could not move it past the 7-yard line. Let's see if they can do it here. It's second down and 3. I mean, I don't know why they don't have a first down more. Are they calling it goal to go? I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but here's the throw. Aubin again. Gets through the traffic and gets a touchdown. Jason Aubin puts the Cowboys on the board. For the first time today here in the championship game. On the quick screen again. And Finnemore with the touchdown pass. And now the extra point to put the Cowboys in front. Finnemore, we saw him kick the kickoff to begin the second half here. Is he going to kick it here? Is he a kicker like that? It doesn't really look like it. He's lining up wide, though. Chase Reyes will take the snap. Keep it himself, bulldozing to the goal line. He got the deuce. And Worcester up 8-6 here in the championship game. Chase Reyes, whose versatility has not gone unnoticed on both sides of the ball here today, gets the 2-point conversion try. And the Cowboys have their first score and first lead here today. And If you like the Worcester Cowboys, you see two games. We got the Worcester Cowboys and the New England Brotherhood up next in the 14U Premier Championship game. That one starting at 4 o'clock, give or take. This game still with about 20 minutes of game time left. Here's the kick, and it's close to going out of bounds, and it will go out of bounds. Wow, so that's going to put this at the 40-yard line. A kick out of bounds from Finnemore. No bad. Can't have that happening. That'll be the 5th penalty. And rather, it puts it the 35-yard line here in NEYT play. Hey, move the... Now 1st and 10. The run. And decent gain for big number 22, who I mentioned. We don't have his name on our roster, but gets 5 on the play. There's a flag down, though. So let's see what that is. I think the official said it was against Worcester. Let's see. Yeah, personal foul, necessary roughness. They offset, though. There was one on each side right there. And it's going to be 2nd and 5. They were both after the play as well, so. Toss play to O'Connell. Nowhere to go. O'Connell wrapped up by Elias Orsini Cabrera. The big fella brings him down for a loss of 2. The TFL back to the 38-yard line. Now it's 3rd down and 7. They're 0 for 3 on 3rd down. Here is the run again. And nowhere to go again. Dabaglu again with a tackle for loss. He's been everywhere today for the Cowboys defensive front. This D-line has been eating all game, and it's a loss of a yard again. 4th down again. And Tenfold this time. Looks like they might go for it. They punted last time they were out here, and it went disastrously. And Garrity, who already went for it on 4th down earlier from this end of the field and converted, looking to do it again here. It's 4th and 8. O'Connell next to Garrity. 4th down, Garrity looking, has time and launches deep. Got a man out there! It's caught! Simmons, who spiked it after the play. Might get a delay of game, but the catch will stand. What a throw from Garrity. The guts. And it's good for 28 on the play. Unbelievable. And yeah, the delay of game for spiking the ball after the play. So it's going to bring it back to the 35-yard line. Regardless, it's a 1st down. And Simmons, who had the 44-yard touchdown catch earlier, makes a 28-yard catch there. to keep the drive alive. Unbelievable. What a throw from Garrity as well. And you got to think, why don't you let these kids let it fly more? I mean, Garrity to Simmons, this has been unbelievable today. 2 catches, 72 yards, touchdown between the two of them. There's a timeout called on the field by one of the two teams. Getting a 33, actually, not 28. 33-yard gain, so even more impressive, that play. Not really sure what's going on here, but Tenfold, they're all the way standing back in midfield now. The ball is still at the 35-yard line. Oh, Garrity is down here with his helmet off, talking to the officials and a couple other players. So there was an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Storm. It's still first down, but it pushes the ball all the way back to midfield. So they had the 30-yard line is where they had it, and then they had the delay of game from the spike, and then unsportsmanlike conduct to push it all the way back to midfield, to the 50-yard line. That's the 8th penalty today, the second unsportsmanlike against the Storm here. And it's first down and 25 as a result of that. And they got a yard here on the first down play with O'Connell. And that is just terrible, terrible. And you got to think, I mean, like I just said, the passing game has been working really well. I'm not sure why you just don't go back to that at this point in the game after all that just happened. Let's see if they do. Garrity in the gun. Hands it off to O'Connell again, and O'Connell gets outside. O'Connell with a big run this time. That's his best of the game. and he's all the way out across the 35 to the 33-yard line. Good for 16 right there. And now it's a much more manageable 3rd down and 8 coming up. With 5 minutes and counting down here in the 3rd. Connell, that was his 10th carry. He didn't have a carry longer than 6 yards before that. Got 16 on that one right there, and now they're close, pretty much back to the original line of scrimmage. Already surpassed it. 3rd and 8. O'Connell the back once again. 3 receivers out wide. Down the field, Garrity, jump ball, it's dropped! Oh man, he had it! Oh my goodness, Wiggum, who made a great move that time on Finnemore playing defensive back, had the advantage, but didn't have the hands. 4th down now. And Garrity put in a great spot. Wiggum just couldn't make the grab. Unbelievable. Wow. And now it's 4th down. That drops Tenfold to 0 for 5 on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 4th down, though, including the conversion on this drive. Here's 4th and 8. Garrity takes, looks, under pressure, going to roll out right and get sacked. It's Babaglu and Reyes again combining for another sack. They did it earlier, they do it once more. 4th sack today for the Cowboys defense. And another turnover on downs. Wow. Sets up the Cowboys 2-point lead and the football at their own 35. Some discombobulation on defense for Tenfold. A lot of movement there that looked like confusion. The handoff to Deshanes gets 2 on the play. The handoff for Deshanes, who has been the workhorse for this offense all afternoon. Despite 2 interceptions on back-to-back drives by the Cowboys. They got a couple of stops themselves. They got a touchdown, the 2-point conversion. They have the lead with the football for the first time today. You can say they have both of those things. And the jump against Wiggum. Again, he had an offsides earlier, and he jumps early again. Unbelievable. That is the 4th neutral zone infraction against the Storm today. You just can't do that. You can't. And they do it again. 9th penalty against the Storm. Second and down and 3. Garrity gives Deshanes going outside. Deshanes across midfield to the 40. Pushed out the 35-yard line. Big gain. That's his longest run today. Good for 22. And a first down. Now an injury. Tenfold player is down. We'll take a little break. Cowboys up 2 here on Fans Only Sports Network. 8-6 the score. Back here following the injury timeout, Desheens with a 25-yard gain. Finnemore throwing in the flat. It's Aban. Jason Aban, and he's out of bounds at the 20. Gain of 13 there. Another chain mover, his third catch. He's caught all 3 completions from Finnemore today for 33 yards and a touchdown. Aubin, he's been the leading receiver here in this game altogether as Desheens gets a yard on first down. Now the red zone trip here, the second of the quarter for the Cowboys. Touchdown and just an extra point, not even a 2-point conversion would make it a 2-possession game. And like I said, we've seen Finnemore do some kickoffs. He just kicked one out of bounds a few minutes ago, but do you think he could potentially kick an extra point? We'll come to find out. He's in the pistol here. Desheens next to him in the flat again on the screen. Aubin down the sideline. Aubin pushed out inside the 10, about to the 6-yard line. And it's another gain of 13. So he's had 4 catches in this game, 3 of which have gone for exactly 13 yards, including that one. And now it's first and goal from the 6. Four for 46 for Jason Aubin. First and goal. Finnemore gives Desheens, trying to slice through, and he'll get a couple there to the 4-yard line. Call it a gain of 2. Second and goal coming up. $90 yards for Desheens here today. Got a big jump with that huge 25-yard carry. 16 attempts for Desheens. He's got 90 yards, averaging over 5.5 a clip. Here's Chase Reyes taking the direct snap. Gonna bounce it outside, and Reyes has a touchdown. 4-yard rushing touchdown for Chase Reyes, and the Cowboys, with 8 seconds left in the third quarter, get their second touchdown of the period to go up 8. (14-6). Worcester in front, and they're gonna go for 2. It looks like again. We saw Reyes get the 2-point conversion run the last time they went for 2 on a direct snap. And this is huge. If he's able to get this, it makes it a 2-score game. So that this pretty much confirms right here that the Cowboys have no kicking game. And Reyes will hand it off this time. Getting outside and getting through the traffic is the Sheens for 2. 10-point advantage for Worcester. 16 points in the third quarter for the Cowboys. Eight seconds left. Here in the third quarter. Fenimore the kick. This one will stay in bounds, and it's a good kick, picked up inside the 10-yard line and returned to the 30 by Tolan. That's going to end the third quarter. Cowboys with a monstrous last 12 minutes. They go down the field twice to punch it in for 6, and then 2 two-point conversions. They go up 16-6. They were down 6.5, now up 10 at the end of the third quarter with 12 more minutes to play. We'll be right back here on Fans Only Sports for the final 12 minutes here from Providence. Final quarter here from Brown University. Tenfold down 10, down 2 scores for the first time today. Here's O'Connell going to go outside with it on the first down carry. He's able to get about 5 on the play. Call it 4 actually. Garrity throws left side out of reach for Simmons, incomplete. Third down coming up. Garrity 4 of 7 here in this game. 89 yards and the touchdown, and they're going to need him to throw it here as they trail by 10. They're 0 for 5 on third down. Here's their 6th third down attempt. Timeout called by Worcester. Cowboys take the timeout. That's their first timeout of the second half. And I think they know that if they're able to get a stop here, it's going to put them in a really good position. Not just on this play, but on the fourth down, which, you know, we're going to assume that Tenfold would probably go for with the way things have been going in this game for them, having gone for a couple of fourth downs in their own territory. Third of fourth championship game here in the NEYT. Brown University Next game will start a little bit later than expected between the Worcester Cowboys and the New England Brotherhood 14U premier matchup. As Tenfold jogging back on the field. Third down and 6. That's going to be a false start. They don't call it, though. Garrity going to step up, go out to his right. Under pressure, has to throw it away. Incomplete. Through in the area of Seamus Devine. And now a flag after the play. And I don't know if you guys saw, but that slot receiver jumped early. And the penalty is going to be against Worcester. So Chase Ray is also limping here. And this is a unsportsmanlike conduct. That's what the official said against the Cowboys. So fresh set of downs. Makes it first down. Worcester, their 6th penalty today. On a play that, I mean, my eyes saw it, the false start. Maybe it shouldn't even have been ran the play, but hey, that's okay. 10:40 and counting down. This one at midfield. Garrity over the middle. This one caught wide open is Wiggum. Another flag flies. Wiggum gets down to the 36 for a gain of 14, but let's see what the marker is for this time. It was the official at the bottom of the screen who threw that flag. And it is against Tenfold. Five-yard penalty. Missed what it was. But yeah, it's 5-yard penalty against Tenfold. The Storm moving backwards. Now it is going to be first down and 15. From their own 45. Garrity has a lot of time. And now it's going to run out. He's sacked. Didn't make his read fast enough that time, and it's Babaglu along with Elijah Garcia on the takedown there. Well, another flag flies. It's a loss of 5 in the meantime. Let's see what the marker is this time around. I mean, the flags have been going crazy today. Let's see what it is. They pick it up. So they pick up the flag. It's Babaglu now with 2.5 sacks. Garcia got in there as well. And it's going to make it a second down and 20. Loss of 5 on the sack. Simmons will take the direct snap here. Gonna run left side, makes a man miss. Still going. Another flag flies again. I mean, what are we doing here? Gain of 4 on the play, but for the 3rd consecutive play, flags are throwing. And now we got a couple guys talking some smack to each other. Dos Santos and Reyes. Now Reyes' helmet is off. Another flag flies in as well. I mean, you don't even know who this is against because it seems to be so common and mutual here in this championship game, but like something's got to give. It's going to be against Worcester. And there's one against. They said 2 were against Worcester, it looked like. I don't know if they offset one, but it looked like 2 unsportsmanlike conduct calls against Worcester. And now another flag thrown. And that flag was thrown from the Worcester bench. Rewind the screen about 5 seconds. That flag was thrown not by an official, but from the Worcester bench back on the field, it looked like. Oh my goodness. This ought to be something else. I mean, what are we doing here? Worcester, you're up 10 points. Chill out, man. I don't know what was said on the field, but this is going to completely flip the game around, as they're going to go from their own 30 after the sack all the way to the Worcester 33-yard line. They got 30 yards of penalties right there. About 32 yards of penalties. I've never seen anything like this. I probably have, but I mean, from a team with a 10-point lead, what are you doing? It makes no sense, but yeah, that's unfathomable right there. And now another timeout is called on the field by Tenfold this time. And I think everybody in the stadium needs a timeout after that. That was ridiculous. So instead of 2nd and 20, it's a 1st and 10. And Worcester just shooting themselves in the foot after that. So 9 minutes, 1 second left. I need a break after that as well. We'll be right back here on Fans Only Sports. Cowboys still up 10. If you still believe it. They're not acting like it, so we'll be right back. All right, back here, 9:01 for Tenfold to make a comeback. They got a lot of free yards right there. High snap, give it to O'Connell. O'Connell makes a man miss, trying to cut it outside, and below the shoulder gets down to the 27-yard line, around there. Good for about 6 on the play. Call it at the 26 for gain of 7, actually. Second and 3, O'Connell. And the fake, Garrity keeps it himself, and he's close to the marker. They're going to give it to him, I believe. No, actually, I think it's still about a yard short. And now a injury timeout again. Got a Cowboy slow to get up. He will come off the field. Was the injured Cowboy. Now it's 3rd down and 1. They've not converted a third down here today. This is only a yard away, though. Give it to O'Connell, and they'll get that one there for the first third down conversion of the game. Good for 4 on 3rd and 1. Fresh set of downs now. Under 8 minutes to go, Garrity. Got 3 receivers lined out wide. Inside handoff going to go out now. It's O'Connell. Brought down after another modest gain. Good for 6 that time. And just decent play after decent play here for the Storm. Last 5 carries for O'Connell. 16, 4, 7, 4, 6. You can't go wrong with that. 37 yards on his last 5 carries. Just over 7 yards a clip. 2nd down and 4. Got to punch one in here to keep their hopes alive. 6:15 counting down. Garrity throws. End zone touchdown! Seamus Devine. The Storm get it back to a 1-score game. What a throw from Hudson Garrity. 14 yards to number 14, Devine. 2nd touchdown pass for Garrity here in the championship game, and that ball could not have been thrown any better. Going for 2 here to make it a 2-point game if they can get it. Fake. Garrity throws. Simmons off his hand. Incomplete. And Alston was there to knock his head off if he did make the catch. Probably best that he didn't. I mean, maybe not, but might have got cracked. 6:44 to go here in the 4th. We have a game again. The Cowboys single-handedly giving the Storm life with a couple of terrible penalties that gave them 30 free yards on unsportsmanlike penalties. The Cowboys with a crash out on the sideline and on the field resulted in 2 separate unsportsmanlike conduct penalties right after a Cowboys sack, which made it 2nd and 20. They just were giving them free life. It was unbelievable what we saw there on that last drive, and the Storm took advantage. Devine with the touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as Tenfold needs to get a stop. Kick it deep. Fenimore makes the catch at the 25. The quarterback down the sideline. Fenimore still in bounds to the 49-yard line on the return. Nice play from Jackson Fenimore, who's done everything. He's played offense, defense, special teams. Looking like this team's best athlete by far here today. And they'll mark this at exactly midfield with 6:37 to play. Worcester just going to try to get some first downs here. Still a lot of time on the clock. A touchdown here With little time left, we'll put it away. Finnemore hands it off to Sheens with nowhere to go. Brought down by Aiden Ayub and a couple others in the backfield for a loss of 4. Sheens sniffing 100 yards rushing today, and that's going to make it harder for him after that loss of 4. 46-yard line now. Finnemore walking back to the huddle as this clock looking at 6 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. They're going to take their time getting these snaps, run these plays. Finnemore with 4 receivers lined up. Play fake, looking. He's sacked! Ball's out! Tenfold has the football! Wiggum with the strip sack! Oh my goodness! He got rocked! Tenfold will take over with 5:39 to go, down by 4. Unbelievable. First turnover of the second half, and it's the third from Finnemore here in this game. Unbelievable. Wow. Can't write it any better than that. This has been a game for the ages. Trying to see who recovered that ball. Anyways, Garrity and this offense back on the field. 5:39 left in the 15U Showcase Championship game. O'Connell wrapped up by Chase Reyes for a loss of a yard. And Reyes has been everywhere tonight. O'Connell, who had a great little streak there of positive yards, loses one right there. Second and 11. 5 minutes left. Garrity chased. Tries to set his feet. Now throw down the field. It's incomplete. Actually got caught. It definitely was not in bounds, though. And that is a crazy interception, though, by Brian Voss-Aiel. Looked like that's who it was. Going to be third down, and third down, as I've mentioned, has not been friendly at Tenfold here this afternoon. They're 1 for 6 on third down. They converted their first on a 3rd and 1 on that last possession that we just saw. The Storm, I mean, they looked like they were dead to right, getting sacked, making a 2nd and 20 earlier. Back at their own 30-yard line. They are 43 yards away from taking the lead again. Unbelievable. Garrity, got to get this, though. Or at least get close. Has a lot of time. Garrity slings downfield. Wiggum is open, but just slightly overshot for him. Finnemore on the coverage there. And Wiggum, who just had the strip sack on Finnemore, couldn't beat him there for 6 that time. Incomplete, and now it's 4th and 11. Drops the Storm to 1 of 7 on third down. It's getting loud here. 4:44 left. 4th down and 11. This crowd is on their feet. Some of them. The Storm down 4. Garrity on 4th down, looking deep. Got a man out there. Wiggum! He caught it to the 5-yard line. Oh, baby. Wiggum and Simmons were both out there. I thought they might run into each other. Instead, Wiggum, who's been coming up with the big plays left and right, comes up with the biggest of the game there for the Storm. Unbelievable. 1st and goal now. Another 4th down. That's their 3rd 4th down conversion, and it's good for 37 yards. Wow, unbelievable. Clock continues to wind down below 4 minutes. The Worcester Cowboys 14U team has just entered the building, as you can see, behind the defense, behind the end zone right here. As the Worcester Cowboys 14U squad is playing in the next game. 1st and goal from the 5. And false start against the Storm. Wow. Brings it back to the 10. Didn't even see the movement there, but that's what they called it, and that is another penalty against Tenfold. 10th penalty of the game, but that is surprisingly their first false start. They've had 4 offsides on defense. They got a false start right there, so makes it 1st and goal from the 10. Garrity, sidestep, still on his feet, and now he's dropped. Got sacked. Vasquez with the takedown. That's the big time sack there, his 2nd of the game. 5th sack by the Cowboy defense since it lost to 2. Second down and goal from the 12. Garrity takes, looks, throws it out route. It's caught by Simmons, and he gets about half the yards back to the 6-yard line. 3rd down and goal coming up. Simmons had the touchdown earlier. And he gets halfway to the goal line right there. Clock now at 1:30 to go. 90 seconds left here in regulation. Garrity looking. High intensity here. He's sacked. Trying to stay upright, he can't. And now it's 4th and goal. Clock at 1 minute to go now. 4th and goal, and a timeout will be called here. And it's going to be by the Storm for sure. With 56 seconds left, it is the Storm taking the timeout. It's going to be 4th and goal at the 9-yard line. Unbelievable. This game has been intense. I mean, the Cowboys entered the 4th quarter with a 16-6 lead. Storm got in the end zone about midway through the 4th. The strip sack from Wiggum They set up this drive, and now it all comes down to this. One play to decide this game. Tenfold just took the timeout, which is their last. They have no more after this one. And they saved it for a good time. So they got to drop their best play here to keep their championship dreams alive. Crowd is loud and active. Garrity struts back onto the field for 4th down. Got 3 receivers lined up. Telling Wiggum to come closer, more inside here. Garrity takes the snap, looking under pressure. Reyes coming after him, rolls out right, throws to the end zone. It's caught for the touchdown. Wiggum! Oh my goodness! And a backflip as well. With 47 seconds left. Extending the play, Garrity. And the Storm go back in front. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. That is their 4th down conversion here today. Touchdown pass number 3 for Hudson Garrity. And the go-to man on 4th down on this drive, Wiggum, who had the 37-yard catch to set up goal to go. And now a 9-yard touchdown to put the Storm back in front. Unbelievable. There was a flag at the end of the play. Two-point conversion time. Storm up 2. The kicking game lacking from each of these two teams. Can go for 2. Make Worcester get a touchdown. Here's the toss play, trying to bounce it outside, and they can't. No good on that one. Can you believe that? Touchdown and the backflip. That was insane right there. For Xavion Wiggum. Who has been something else here today, especially in this 4th quarter. The strip sack, he's been the hero of this game. Wiggum waving goodbye as well to the Worcester bench. And you don't write 15U championship game scripts as good as this. This was a 6-0 game at halftime after a scoreless first about 20 minutes of this game. The first score came with 4:19 left in the 2nd quarter. If you're just joining us, I'll give a quick recap. The Storm got on the board first with a Simmons touchdown. That was the score at halftime, 6-0. Cowboys answered back with back-to-back touchdown drives and 2-point conversions in the second half. The 3rd quarter to go up 16-6, and this 4th quarter has been all Tenfold Storm. The Divine touchdown, now the Wiggum touchdown on back-to-back drives. Hudson Garrity, the clutch gene. If there was any question that he had it before this game, there is no question now. He has been clutch. 4 4th down conversions. 3 in the second half for Tenfold. This has been an incredible game. And it's a refreshing one after we had 2 shutouts in the first 2 games of this NEYT Championship Sunday. Over 100 live viewers tuned in as well, the Fans Only Sports Network right now. We appreciate you guys. So, to kick out the 20 because of the backflip, the taunting penalty. It's Finnemore from the 45 on the return. Finnemore slicing through the defense. He gets down the 43-yard line. That is where the Cowboys will start their potential game-winning drive. So the backflip that Wiggum did after the touchdown was called taunting. And as a result, that's the reason why the kickoff was at the 20-yard line instead of the 40. And there must have been something else too, I guess. But, yeah, a lot of penalties today. 12 against Tenfold, 6 against the Cowboys. 42 seconds left. Finnemore at quarterback. Takes the snap. They have 2 timeouts. Finnemore sacked on the first play. Dos Santos got to him for the second time, and that is going to be a quick Cowboy timeout. Their second. They have 1 remaining. That's a loss of 5, and that got blown up immediately. So Tenfold, who had a tough stretch to begin this game. First and foremost, they thought the game was at 2:30, this Tenfold Storm team. They had to rush their players to get here, a lot of which were not here in the minutes before the game. Delayed the kickoff to about 2:17. They open up this game as well with 3 neutral zone infractions on defense in the first 2 drives. First, drive in a play, actually. Looked very, very undisciplined. Got in the end zone first, and then had their backs against the wall not even about 30 minutes ago, and now are 34 seconds away from a 15U Showcase Championship here in the New England Youth Tackle Football League. From the 47-yard line, 2nd down and 15. Man in motion to Sheens. Reyes at quarterback now. Will step up and throw. Got a man open. It's caught. Got to get out of bounds, though. And they do. No, actually. Yes, they do. I mean, no. No, yes, they did. 23 seconds. They did get out of bounds there. So Reyes with the completion. And with the catch on that play was Mason Bastion, his first catch. No, actually, the clock's still going. It's still going. And now Worcester will have to take their final timeout. And Bastion, he should have reached his entire arm across. He couldn't get there. Oh, my goodness. He's about an inch away from stopping the clock, and now Worcester has to burn their last timeout. And that was not the best attempt, truthfully, extending for the sideline there by Bastion. But Reyes, it's his first completion today. It's a 19-yard pickup. Bastion's first catch of the game. That's actually the first catch by someone not named Jason Aubin for this Worcester Cowboy team. There's 12 seconds left. From the 28, that's how far away they are from the end zone. Reyes stays in at quarterback. Reyes, flag flies. This is going to be an early jump. And it's against the Storm. Offsides. That's going to bring the Cowboys 5 yards closer. It's going to also kill a second off the clock. So 1st and 5 with 11 seconds left, 23 yards away from the end zone. The offsides have been hurting Tenfold all game. That's their 5th. 1st down. Reyes looking, has to throw the end zone and does. Finnemore's out there and he caught it for the touchdown. Jackson Finnemore with 6 seconds remaining. And now some more flags for excessive celebration, but Finnemore gets the last laugh. Unbelievable. Reyes is hype, as he should be. Cowboys retake the lead. Oh my goodness. Goosebumps in Providence. Can you believe it? Jackson Finnemore. Oh man. Going back to his natural position at wide receiver that he's listed on the roster. He's played quarterback all game. Makes the 23-yard touchdown catch. And it might be the winner for the Worcester Cowboys. Wow. One of the best fourth quarters that you'll ever see. Reyes comes in at quarterback, 47 yards away from the end zone. And he goes 2 for 2, 42 yards in the touchdown. That might have just won it for the Cowboys. Unbelievable. And that's why you wait till the clock hits quadruple zeros. Unreal. Now they're going to go for 2. It's a 2-point try to go up 6. Now you got Jason Aubin waving goodbye to the Cowboys, to the Tenfold faithful. There's still 6 seconds left. And they're just going to try to sneak it here on the 2-point conversion attempts. And Monteque could not get there. So 22-18, there's 6 seconds left. What a drive by the Cowboys. Just when you thought it was over, guess what? It wasn't. Unbelievable. Wow. It's still not over yet. I mean, I think everybody here is at a loss for words. What has transpired in this fourth quarter? This was a 6-0 game at halftime. Just to remind you guys. The big man kicking it off now. Finnemore is not kicking it this time around. 6 seconds left. They just pop it up in the air. Call a fair catch, and it kills off 2 seconds off the clock. The catch there by Wes Peterson, and now Tenfold, the Storm, with one more chance. 4 seconds left, 41 yards away from the end zone. You think they want Wiggum here? I would think so. Let's see what they got in their bag, though. Tenfold, no timeouts, doesn't really matter because there's only 4 seconds. They got to get in the end zone here. The real question is, can Garrity reach the end zone? Does he have the arm? Wiggum lined outside on the right. Bottom of the screen, it's Devine and Simmons in the slot. Garrity in the empty backfield takes. Has time. Lets it fly downfield. Simmons is out there. Incomplete. And it's over. The Cowboys are the 15U Showcase champions. Finnemore the hero. Chase Reyes the dot. And the championship is going back to Worcester here in 2025. Unbelievable game. It doesn't get any better than that, especially with what we've seen today. With some blowouts, this was not one of them. One of the best fourth quarters you'll ever see in any level of football. We got to witness here today at Brown University. 22-18 the final. The Cowboys come back with under a minute to go, and they win it. They win it. Unbelievable. Jackson Finnemore, the 23-yard touchdown pass from Chase Reyes with 6 seconds remaining. And the Worcester Cowboys, the 15U champions. Coming up next, we have the Worcester Cowboys again against the New England Brotherhood. That's going to be up right now here on Fans Only Sports Network on another stream. The stream's about to end. Thank you all for tuning in. This is one of the most viewed broadcasts of the year. Live viewers here on FO Sports that I've been a part of. Got 126 viewers right now. Golly. And for a game like this, should be, 1,026. So we'll see you guys next time in about 2 minutes. Worcester Cowboys trying to go 2 for 2 on the day. And so play the Brotherhood in just 1 sec here on Fans Only Sports. We'll see you guys then.